Hey, everybody, welcome to our very first episode of Building a Podcast. We are a podcast all about Lego, and we're so glad that everybody could join here today as we kind of work through our kinks and our little problems as we go. Appreciate you being here, even just a little bit late there. But I'm Thomas, Obi-Wan Kenobrix on all my other social platforms. And here with me today, my co-hosts and co-hosts, we have...
Brick Chef right here.
And Maticus Bricks.
Awesome. Maticus Bricks, would you like to share a little bit about yourself to get things started?
Sure, I would love to introduce myself for anybody who doesn't know me. I am a Lego content creator on TikTok, Instagram, a little bit of YouTube. I've been a lifelong Lego fan forever, ever since the 90s when I got my first set. But basically what I do is, one day I decided that I wanted to share some of my original builds, and I thought the best way to do that would be to share on TikTok. Through TikTok, I found a great community of other Lego builders, collectors, hobbyists, you guys. So really, it's just been an awesome journey of creating the content that shows who I am as a Lego collector and fan, and who I am as a builder. And I really just am, really happy to be able to get the chance to share all of this with other Lego fans.
Awesome.
Yeah. Awesome.
I'm seeing some comments in there. I just want to say hi to everybody who's joining. We appreciate you being here today.
Hey, everybody. Jillian, Mikey.
Yeah, I saw Mikey in there. Yeah.
I know. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Yeah, Brick Pursuit. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll go.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go next. I think all of us will be definitely the same in the aspect that we're lifelong Lego fans. But for TikTok, for me, I started just about a year ago, August. I just on a whim was like, hey, got a big Lego collection. Maybe I should post to TikTok. So I started doing that and doing primarily set reviews. I just like to share Lego sets in like a general kind of unbiased way. A lot of people usually push their opinions into their reviews, and I just like to show off the set for what it is so people can easily form an opinion on it and figure out if they want to buy it for themselves. And in between, I kind of experimented around with different kinds of content, but I think really I found that set reviews is like what I really like to focus on, whether that be a brand new set or like a used set that I might find. And I hope to continue to make videos on TikTok for a long time and branching out. I'm starting to do a little bit of YouTube, a little bit of Instagram, which is really exciting. So I'm just happy to be expanding. And then now this awesome podcast with these two awesome co-hosts is really awesome as well. So
you're awesome.
Oh, you're awesome.
Everything is awesome.
Everything is
awesome.
Everyone is awesome.
Well, that is really cool. And Brick Chef, Ethan, may I just say, it is nice to see your face.
Yes.
Because I feel like probably I'm voicing this same thing that a lot of people felt, is that we got to know your very calm and enjoyable voice in the background of all your Lego reviews. And then it's like, oh, he's a person too. It's really cool.
Yes. It is
nice.
Not
made of ABS plastic.
Yes, that's right. That we know of.
Yeah. I'm not just a massive Lego person.
A maxi fig.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I guess that brings it to me. I am Obi-Wan Kenobrix, and I started out joining social media on TikTok. And hello there, somebody said hello there as well. So I, like many others, I was a fan of Lego from a very early age. And I remember collecting the little pirate sets and space sets when I was growing up in the 90s. And, then like many others, I went through kind of a dark age where I distanced myself and said, well, that's not, that's for kids, right? And it took me quite some time before I really got back into it. I'd buy a set here or there, kind of like one of those things you like too quietly in the closet because you don't want people to know, it actually took getting on social media for me to realize it's actually okay to like Lego again. And interestingly enough, I discovered Maticus Bricks' channel on TikTok, and that is what clicked with me. I was like, I can do Lego, So yeah, here I am, and you can see there's like a massive problem behind me. So
you see a problem, I see a hobby.
Exactly. Yeah. So I've been all over the place, but this is one of the happiest times of my life, just being able to share something that is just truly so enjoyable to me. And I love being able to, on my channel, primarily show, tips and things that I am working on, and just, positivity is my shtick, if you will. That's what I got.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thomas, I think that you have like a sentiment that a lot of us feel is that, we didn't know that this hobby was okay until we came to like the online community.
Yeah.
I don't know, Ethan, if you feel the same way, but I certainly did kind of feel a little bit like, I don't want to tell everybody about this. And now it's like, whoa, I have this whole social media channel and I do cool things. And there's other people who do this too. That's a really cool feeling.
Definitely. I'd also definitely, because I was a big, even before I was on TikTok, I was like just mainly into Lego YouTube and stuff, and just seeing that, how big that's grown so much in the past, just like 1 to 2 years. Lego YouTube used to be this like really small thing, and now Lego
Very
YouTube
niche,
is so big to the point where we have like Lego TikTok now and Lego Instagram that are starting to also become these huge emerging platforms. And it's kind of so interesting because each community is like distinctly different, I'd say.
Yeah, I would agree. And I would also say, like Matt, like you said, it did for me take the interconnectedness of these online communities in order for me to realize that there was more beyond just, the boxes that I had packed up in my parents' shed that were full of Lego that I was embarrassed about or whatever. So it's really cool. Honestly, the funny thing for me is that like I downloaded TikTok because we were all worried that that TikTok was going to get banned a few years ago.
Yeah,
I was like, well, I better get it out. I was super not into social media at the time. Like I had not even posted on Facebook for years, and then my wife was like, yeah, right. Like you're gonna like post a video on TikTok, and then I'm like, wow, now I have like almost 50,000 followers. It's crazy. So I guess stranger things have happened.
Sure, certainly. I like Mikey's comment.
Yes,
if you can highlight that.
Yeah.
Oh yes, interconnectedness.
You could say we're all quite interlocked as a community.
Yes.
We've got
automatic binding AFOLs.
We got clutch powers as friends. Done. I'll escort myself out.
Please. Yeah.
No more.
Oh goodness.
Oh jeez.
Well, I think that brings us to our first major segment of the show. Thank you guys for participating thus far. It's already been 7 minutes, and some of you are even still here. It's amazing. So
I know it's crazy.
We have a few items to share with you today. This first show, we were trying to give you a little bit of background on each of us individually, just because not everybody has distinct familiarity with each of us. But for the show today, we have for you intros followed by some Lego news, what is happening this week, strictly stuff that we can share with you, followed by a couple other segments. We're going to talk a little bit about one of our favorite things, the element of the week, and we're very excited to get into that. And then we will finish with our main segment on 90 years of play. But first, let's kick it off to Ethan, the Brick Chef, as we talk about this week's Lego news.
Yes, Lego news. So we got some visuals for you guys to kind of add to our segments that we have prepared.
I'll put a news down there next time.
We're just going to be starting with some news. We'll try and keep this kind of format that we're establishing kind of steady with all of our podcasts. And if you guys maybe want to see something added, just your feedback is always greatly appreciated. But yeah, let's just get into it. Interesting things that happened this week. Kind of a calm week, I'd say. Not too much going on. We don't got any anything on double VIP points. Not really. No notable gift with purchases are going on right now. We got some online retail sales. Walmart right now has the Galaxy Explorer for $75. It's normally $100. Nice. Just a great deal. Especially, I know a lot of people are trying to get multiples of those because those alternate builds. A lot of people love space, so I know that. That's a great way to get more of the Galaxy Explorer. And then, as we all know, Lego did just increase a lot of their prices, which, that is what it is. But with that being said, Amazon does have some sets for their original prices prior to their jump. So, for example, we got the Medieval Blacksmith right now is for 150 on Amazon, which it originally was. Now Lego has it for 180. So that's a nice $30 off right there. Then we got the Ideas Treehouse, which is one of my favorite sets, if not my favorite idea set for sure. That one is now 250 on Lego. Amazon has it for 200, which is really, really nice. And then Technic People, Zavi, another really awesome online retailer, has a bunch of Technic sets on sale. You just go on their website and you have codes for each of the sets that are on sale. And there's a vast majority of like the newer Technic sets on sale. I think one notably is that big Ferrari car is $100 off on Zavi. So that's a really, really good deal. Next, we're going to move on to the newer sets. So stuff that just came out and then stuff that is going to be coming out that has been revealed. So I'm just going to pull that up. Sorry for the delay. So yeah, we got quite a few sets. So the Lighthouse right off the bat in the middle, that one just came out. And then it's also surrounded by some sets that are going to come out. The Avatar theme, James Cameron's Avatar is getting its own Lego theme. And all those sets are coming out starting October, which will be super cool to pick up. Got a variety of different play sets, even Brickheads, which I love Brickheads. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, those are
then we got Bowser. So we've been getting a big direct-to-consumer set every year with Mario, and now we're with our third, which is the Mighty Bowser, a huge built-up guy. He looks really
Bowser looks amazing.
I need Bowser. Like, that's a must-have set.
Yeah, no, I have the other two, and I absolutely am going to need Bowser to complement them.
Do you feel like we're going to need a brick-built Mario, though, to accompany it? Because I know the one that we have that goes with the play sets, those are fun, but they don't quite like match the aesthetic of, this type of thing.
I will say I actually kind of like the way that cute. Bowser scales to the
he seems like
Bluetooth Mario.
Yeah. Because he's like a mega Bowser.
Yeah, he reminds me of I don't know if you guys have played Odyssey, but like the way the boss battles are in Odyssey, that's the scaling that it reminds me of.
I'll agree with that. Yeah. But I think a buildable Mario could be a good set. They just have to, obviously work around the blockiness, but I think they can do it.
Yeah. And then we also have the Office set. It's coming out. That's a long time. Yeah, I know a lot of people are super, super excited about The Office, which is also, might I add, a really good deal for its price. I think it's like 1,200 pieces, and it comes with 11, maybe more minifigures.
It's a lot. It's like the whole cast. Yeah,
nearly everyone you could want, minus a couple.
I'm pretty sure it's everybody that's in the first season of the show.
Yes.
Which is a lot of characters. That's pretty much all the characters, except for maybe one or two.
I don't know if Andy Bernard is in there or Aaron.
Andy, I don't think. Yeah, no Andy.
No,
Aaron. Andy then, yeah.
Some people are very mad about that.
Yeah, he's kind of an important one.
And then the last of the Avatar sets. That's probably my favorite of the Avatar sets. The tree is super pretty.
It's beautiful. It's a little expensive for what I would want to spend on that set, but I understand why when I'm looking at it and I see all the insane detail.
Yeah.
For me, I like the parts. I just have no attachment to the IP. That's
how I'm feeling. I like them. I like the sets. Because I think from what I can tell is that all the background pieces that come with all the sets can be connected to make some sort of
cool
big display, which I like out of a play set theme. I feel like a lot of playset themes lack displayability, and the fact that if you buy all these, they can all be displayed together in a cohesive way is really intriguing to me.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. It's a good concept.
That's why I love Harry Potter so much.
Yes, Harry Potter does that really, really well.
So well.
Yes, especially with this most recent run where they have every part, like the Chamber of Secrets and the Fluffy encounter, even the bathroom with Moaning Myrtle, can all be connected and linked together.
Don't really remind me how much money I need to spend on these things.
I know.
I'm missing so many.
Moving on, we got the Advent calendars. Those are, get them while you can, because once those advent calendars are gone, they're gone. And then to note with advent calendars, if you have a Costco or a Sam's Club around you, they generally get those for cheaper than Lego sells them, which is also noted. Another set coming, they always do holiday sets, so there's a new Christmas tree coming out as well.
Yep.
And then this little set, I also just wanted to highlight. Very good deal.
Cute.
It's something like 350 pieces for $13. So that's another really, really cool set that is coming out. And then we're going to be moving on to the final bit of news, which is going to be our confirmed retiring sets. Lego does, I believe, 2 kind of waves of retirement. So we'll get a list of sets kind of right now. And then we'll get another list, I think, around December. I'm not too sure. But we're going to go over that first list we have. So I'm going to pull that up real fast. The retiring sets, it's always interesting to see what's going, because it'll definitely influence some people's purchases.
Yep.
So I think there's 13 sets on this list right now. This is the last of the books, the Harry Potter books. I think the other 3 are already long gone. The Bugatti, that's a big set. I know that Technic fans, especially car fans, that's going to be gone. So that's something you definitely want to grab.
I didn't even know that set existed, but I'm not a Technic. I'm not a Technic fan.
I'll be honest, I'm not a big Technic guy either.
Then no
I don't
idea.
think we have very much Technic love in this.
No.
But it's okay. If you like Technic, we still like you. It's okay.
Of course we do. We just like you. No.
We just don't understand you.
Exactly.
Because there are too many pieces.
Exactly, and they're too complicated.
Yes.
I loved my Technic Batmobile, but it's still made my head spin.
How long did that take you to build?
I'm still building it. I started it 6 months ago. No. Not that long. I got it done. Yeah.
This next set on here, big surprise. We got the Disney Castle. That's been on shelf since 2016.
I know.
That is a must-have, I'd say, for any big Disney fan. If you like to visit the park like once a year, you need this Lego set. And I anticipate once it retires, literally the day it retires and it is out of stock, it will probably double in price.
It'll go quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna go up a lot. It's a cool set.
Every year I say I'll buy it next year, and it looks like we're running out of those.
Yeah,
so it might be your year.
And noted it's on back order right now too. So that potentially might go away soon, and I feel like it'll be out of stock at that point.
Granted, I will say that if you have a Legoland Discovery Center, you're not going to see their inventory on Lego.com's website, since they're technically a separate entity, but they stock a lot of the same sets. You may be able to check with them and find if they have it.
Yes. Elf Clubhouse. It's almost 2 years old now. The Winter Village sets. So if you are a Winter Village person, you haven't picked that one up yet, that's definitely something you should get. The 1989 Batwing. It's one of the better DC sets that they've come out with in the past.
I like this one a lot.
Couple years. Yeah, it's really great. It can also be wall mounted.
Yes, it looks so good on the wall. Yeah.
Yes.
I need it.
And once that one's gone, it's going to be slim pickings for DC fans.
Yeah,
unfortunately. But yeah, that one's definitely worth it if you're into that. It's definitely a very cool set. Some ideas sets. Sesame Street. This is one of my all-time favorite sets. I still need to pick up another one for my alternate build that I'm trying to do.
That surprises me. I feel like that's a recent release.
Yes, some of the
Yeah,
this one is a little bit more recent. I wasn't expecting this one to retire that fast.
Do you think that was due to popularity, or?
I'm not sure, because I'm pretty sure this was. I mean, it was popular enough to get keychains, which isn't common for most idea sets. So.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people building it online, but
I hope maybe that means there's another one coming. I don't know. Like a set 2 rows down, this Central Perk set spawned a whole nother set. That's not even in the ideas theme.
Been around for a while.
I'd love an extension to the Sesame Street set. And then right next to Sesame Street, we got the Mickey and Minnie buildable characters. Those have been out for some time now, I want to say. Never was too interested in those.
Does nothing for me.
And then Central Perk, that's definitely one you should pick up. It's
Love
by
that
far that price is unbeatable for what it comes with. I think it's 1,000 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot, yeah, for that.
7 minifigs.
Yeah, and that's a very popular show. Very
great
very
details in
popular
that
show.
set too.
Love it.
A lot of good attention to detail. If you're a friend of a fan of the show, you'll pick up on a lot of different details in there. And one thing that I will say about the Central Perk set versus the Apartments set, which is quite a bit bigger, is that they did a good job with the minifigure selection on Central Perk, giving them more generic outfits rather than episodic specific outfits. What I mean is in the Apartments, the stuff they're wearing is very specific to specific episodes, whereas these are a little more versatile. So definitely one you want to pick up while it's still here.
Yes. And then another one. This I was not expecting to retire so soon.
Yeah.
Seinfeld. I'll say I'm more a fan of the show Seinfeld than I am Friends. So this one is definitely cool. The price is a little bit more, and it's about the same quantity of stuff. I want to say Seinfeld's a little bit bigger. Still a really, really cool set and definitely worth picking up. I don't know. The sitcom sets are just especially really good to display them all together. So
yeah,
the other ones.
Have you seen the Sit Complex that somebody built?
It's crazy, and every time they release a new one, he works it in there.
Yep. I want to live in that apartment.
I know.
Yep.
So fun.
And then the first stadium they released, Old Trafford, is retiring. I'll be honest, wasn't the biggest fan of any of those stadiums.
I think they're actually really, really cool, but like I don't know anything about the sport. This is
football, European
right?
football.
Yeah, I'm not
football.
So unathletic, and
I was gonna echo that sentiment. I mean, like they look really cool, but I'm not a sports ball person.
Yeah,
so.
A sports ball. I feel like the adult Lego fan and like the sport fan Venn diagram doesn't have enough overlap.
Strange crossover
to justify this set. Like,
and
but
then
they're really cool looking.
The Fiat
looks amazing.
Really good, a really nice entry point into the creator expert cars. So that one's going to be going away.
That one's cute.
Yes. And then our last two, a Monkey Kid set. Sad to see Monkey Kid go. And
the whole theme, yeah.
The whole theme?
Yes, I believe so.
It wasn't that popular.
And then the Adidas Superstar is also retiring. Very cool set. It's like the only actual like Lego product that came out of that whole. There's a lot of clothing related items that came out of that collaboration, and this is the one Lego set. Cool one, very cool one.
Very cool.
So yeah, that is about gonna wrap it up for our news segment. So I hope you guys liked that. We're gonna be moving into the element of the week, and Matt is gonna take over on that.
Yeah.
Before we jump into that, I just wanted to say I'm so sorry to cut you up there, but does anybody have any questions who's viewing right now?
Yes.
Over anything that we've covered so far?
Yeah.
Or is there anything that you wanted to add in that maybe we didn't mention? I will give you a caveat here before I let you free reign there, that we are not going to be discussing anything that is considered a rumor or unconfirmed.
Right.
But does anybody have any questions on what has been covered so far or on anything that we might need to elaborate on?
Yeah, we got any.
Pause for a
seeing
moment
there. Seeing some. Yeah, Mikey said he was shocked about Seinfeld. Definitely was a big shock about the Seinfeld.
That surprises me because wasn't that just a set from last year? Like,
yes,
I thought it was. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to pick that up and like put it away for when I eventually watch Seinfeld and need the set.
Yes. Yeah.
I think it might get some value on it too.
It's what happened to me with Friends. I was like, let me buy this set, you know, knowing that I wanted to watch Friends and would want the sets, and then I binged the whole series because it's just great.
Yeah.
So I have actually watched The Office, so I have the prerequisite for that set.
Yeah. Jillian said she's shocked about the Disney Castle. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm shocked too, especially when we're a year before its 100-year anniversary of Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting. You'd think they would want that on the shelves during their 100-year anniversary. So that's very interesting.
Very interesting. You know, just food for thought.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be in Orlando in like a week and a half here. I'll be curious to see if maybe there's a sale on it at the Lego store at the Disney World.
Maybe you can buy some for
maybe
me.
I can.
Maybe
Yeah,
you can,
one for everybody.
You better do the minifig factory at the Disney Springs
that's a
store.
plan.
Yeah. They have it at the one in
plan.
New York. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I
have one from both. I had a friend that went to New York, so I told him to go to the Lego store and get me one, and then I went to Orlando.
That's right.
That's so cool.
Because you can custom print like with the location. Like I
Yep.
did. I got New York on the
I'm
back
trying
of
to get as many as I can.
Very cool.
I was planning on getting one printed with my logo on it, I was thinking.
T-Rex Brick says, I'm surprised about Monkey Kid. Yeah, Monkey Kid is a big surprise.
It feels like they put a lot into it.
It was, I think it was
like the Galaxy ship, whatever it was called. I can't remember.
It definitely was for the Chinese market for sure, because they had just won their big lawsuit with Lepin, because screw Lepin. So they wanted to establish themselves in China, and I don't know the details very good, but Monkey Kid is based off the Monkey King, which is a very popular Chinese folk tale over there.
Yes.
And it had a whole show. I think the show, you can watch it. It's on Amazon, I'm pretty sure, in America. But they had a whole show over in China for it. Man. Yeah, I think the reason it didn't translate well here is because it's very similar to Ninjago. So kids would almost always probably pick Ninjago over Monkey Kid, because the Ninjago stuff fits with what they already have.
Yeah, and cultural relevance will play a role in that as well, honestly. So, I mean, different stuff performs better in different regions, obviously. But
they also didn't carry the sets at like Target, Walmart, like
exactly.
Kids going shopping with mom or dad and get to look at the Lego aisle. They don't even see that as an option.
Yes, it was a Lego store exclusive. I forgot about that.
Right,
it does make a big difference.
Situation.
Yeah.
But you know what? Nothing lasts forever.
Oh, CJ says, I'd love to see them do something creative with DC. Yeah, no. However, I don't think they're going to lose it. I don't think that. I think Lego is too big of a toy company that I don't think they're losing any of their IPs unless they choose to drop it.
Yeah, I think DC needs to hold on to everything they get these days.
Their movie franchise is not the strongest.
Well, yeah, like with Batgirl and everything happening there, it's
Oh, that was a whole.
Canceling
a whole movie that's basically finished is kind of crazy.
I didn't even know about that.
And the Flash is just still going ahead as planned.
Gosh,
because everybody wants the Michael Keaton Batman return, which
and he was going to be in Batgirl.
Man,
so double Michael Keaton. So I don't get it.
Yeah. I mean, I think Batman is so popular. Everybody loves Batman, even if they don't like DC. Like, why don't they just go into that like big style, like with Batman? Like, where's our Wayne Manor set? Like, come on.
And I think it's funny though, because a lot of Lego people are complaining that DC is just turning into too much Batman, which I don't know. It makes sense from Lego's perspective, because every other DC character that gets a movie ends up turning out really poor. So, I mean,
is any DC character relevant besides Batman?
There's not much
Batman,
drive. Yeah,
Superman,
no, they've only gotten one set this year, I think.
Wonder Woman's cool, but what, Invisible Jet, UCS Invisible Jet, like
yes, it's all transparent pieces.
But yeah, no, there's only been one DC set this whole year.
My Wonder Woman figure. She's in the Invisible set.
It's really cool.
Yeah, she's in my UCS Invisible Jet right now. Like,
oh wow, yeah, I like it.
Right.
Oh, I have to highlight this. Yes, we missed out big time. Brendan Fraser Firefly, big L that we're missing out on that. In Batgirl. But yeah, no, they've only had one set, DC, the whole theme, and it's a little $10 little motorcycle.
Yep. Yeah, it's sad.
But yeah.
Well, if there aren't any other comments, are there any other interjections there or anything?
I think
any other objections.
I think that wraps that segment up pretty well.
Excellent. All right. Well, let's move on to the Maticus section of our show.
Yes. So
it's called Element of the Week.
Right. So I'm going to be talking about the element of the week, where each week we are going to pick a different Lego brick, an element which we will discuss. We'll talk about the history of this briefly, and then, just talk about our favorite usages of this part. So without further ado, since we're talking about the 90th year of Lego, 90 years of play, we thought it would be appropriate to feature actually the oldest Lego element in my research, the classic 2x4 brick.
Yeah.
So this is just a chart. We won't go super deep into this. I think the history of the brick is a little bit more your territory, Thomas. But so the Lego brick was actually introduced in 1949. So I have, you see up here in this chart, and we got this from a blog. We can actually share the link later in the comments in the description. So if you want to read through this history, I think it's pretty interesting. But the very first Lego bricks after Lego moved away from making wooden toys was this automatic binding brick system, and it was hollow. There were no tubes, which looks to me like crazy different from what we have today. It wasn't until Olikar Christensen patented the tube system in 1958, and then it was dated for the 1961 patent, which we have here on my arm.
Yeah,
because it's just so important. But yeah, this is a brick which, along with the 2x2 brick, was the first Lego brick ever introduced. I think that this is such an important Lego piece, an important Lego element, because anybody who has ever played with Lego, who's ever owned Lego and encountered Lego, has probably played with one of these at some point or another. Like, this is what we think of when we think of Lego. Wouldn't you agree, guys? Like, this is the brick.
That's the brick. That's the one everybody steps on.
Right.
That's what sticks in your mind.
It's caused so much pain.
It's so iconic that every Lego store has a 2x4 brick inside of it, a big, massive one.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we have the original first appearance as 1949. Then the redesign came out in 1958, which is closer to what we have as the original Lego, or as the current familiar Lego brick. It's gone through a lot of little small changes through the years. We won't go through all those little details. But I think it is interesting to see how they have changed their molds. So according to Lego.com, this brick, the 2x4, has appeared in over 540 Lego sets, which I feel like it's got to be more than that. But that's what it says on Lego.com. It has also... I
want to know
what
that is, how many Lego sets there are, because I bet that's like probably more than half of all Lego sets.
Has to be. Like, it's such a common element that once you get over a certain size in the type of set,
it's bound to be there.
It's bound to be there. It has actually appeared in 50 colors. This comes from Bricklink's catalog. 50 colors that you can get this brick in over the years. It's crazy. I have a couple of my favorite colors that this brick comes in here.
And correct me if I'm wrong, there's not very many more colors than 50 in Lego's entire catalog. Yeah. And not many pieces are made in that many colors to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
No. So if you could just have, imagine having unlimited supply of these bricks in any given color, you could just sculpt anything of your imagination. Yep. So we here at Building a Podcast would also like to talk about our favorite usage of the element of the week. So a little bit of a weird one to start off on, not gonna lie. It's a little bit hard to come up with a favorite usage of the classic 2x4 brick. I have my old gray brick here, which I feel like just
shout out old gray bricks.
Yes.
I came up with two, which, you guys will have to decide if this is a valid use of the brick, but these are the two that I thought of. So the first one I thought of, Thomas, you'll recognize this instantly, is this situation here with the
brick. Oh gosh, yes.
Where in classic Lego Island game, the 2x4 brick is actually the power brick that gives power to all of Lego Island. Yep. The Brickster steals it, and there's a sequence where he runs around with the 2x4 brick on his head like so. And I just always thought that was very funny. That's my silly answer. The other thing that I came up with is maybe more of a favorite color, and I don't own this, but in the late 90s, there was a run of limited edition sets, I think also for an anniversary, that included the classic 2x4 brick in chrome silver.
Yeah.
I just think that's really cool that just in general, not only that situation, but I've seen there's a book about the history of Lego that comes with an engraved 2x4 brick. Anytime they do a fun little special thing like that, where it's here's a 2x4 brick that this is the icon of our company, but we're presenting it to you in a cool way that makes it collectible.
I remember
I think is cool
for the 75th anniversary. So what? That's just not that long ago. It's long ago, but
15 years ago.
15
yeah,
years,
15
I
years
know,
ago,
math not in
when
my
I was
notes.
a young lad, one of my first Lego things was a tub of Legos, and it was advertised with the 75th anniversary, and it came with like 6 or 8 2x4 gold bricks.
Oh, so cool.
Yes.
If we could highlight Catherine's comment, do they still make chrome silver? I no, right? They don't make anything.
They sure
no
don't.
chrome at
Nope.
all.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Chrome silver is they have is the piece, I don't think I have it. They have something similar to it now. It's not anything as pretty as that gold chrome.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's that like shiny metallic, right?
Yeah,
It's
they
like,
have
metallic.
it's what they do for
or
gold
pearl.
and silver, and they have it because there's shiny lacquered gold, and then there's like the non
right.
And they have this. It's the same thing with the silver now. They have lacquered silver and like a not as silver, but it's not shiny.
It's nice, but it's not the same.
It's not the same.
There's
no comparison.
No, I was promised by SpongeBob that everything is chrome in the future, and here we are in the
So
future,
true.
and nothing is chrome.
Well, it's funny they got rid of it because I guess they never could figure out a way to produce it without it eventually chipping away after use.
Yep.
In today's world, with what's been going on, people will be asking for those to be replaced all the time.
Oh,
Yep.
yes.
Yeah,
So let's not even get into that.
Right.
Stupidness.
So it's a good thing that they don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, it does make me sad. Like, I have a ton of those chrome silver lightsaber hilts from all the early, 1999, 2000, 2001 sets. But my Count Dooku's lightsaber is quite hard to find. I'm like afraid to take it out of his hand because I don't want to chip off
that
the
was
silver.
that was the last ever piece made in chrome silver.
Oh, really?
They
Wow.
never
Jeez.
when they because it was last released in like 2008 back during the Clone Wars. I'm pretty sure
2012. That one
yes,
was released,
actually,
right?
you're right. Yeah, every
Right.
time Count Dooku's lightsaber has been made, they do
It's
it in
been
the chrome because I just think they take that. They must reuse that same mold.
Makes me
That's
wonder, is
interesting.
this why we haven't gotten another Count Dooku minifig?
Could be.
They
Could
probably
be.
don't want to make a new mold, because
Yeah.
there's probably no more of that chrome
Isn't
material
that
left to
interesting?
make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad.
Well, so I'll open it up now to you guys. Do you, Thomas, or Ethan, do you have a favorite use of the 2x4 brick?
I do. I'll go ahead and share mine if that's okay. Mine's
I'm
kind of
interested.
silly. It's kind of silly. It's a personal usage. So, if you guys have followed on my channel, like a month or two ago, I don't know, I shared one build video of the Jedi Starfighter and how it fits nicely on this little display stand. And then it spawned like 20 more videos on making freaking display stands. And then, there's basically like this
You're the
little
display
thing
stand
like
guy.
that, right? Yeah, like I never wanted to be that, but whatever.
Can we make Thomas big?
So, long story
Oh,
short.
yes.
Too late. Oh, there I am. Yeah. So yeah, making these little guys here, right? Yeah. Not something I like decided to do. It's just kind of going with what people were asking for. Anyway, so kind of trying to go through what I needed to do to display different ships because it was kind of fun. I realized that for the for the love of goodness gracious, for the Bad Batch shuttle, I needed to, it was really challenging to display it with the wings down, and I did not want to display it with the wings up because that just looks silly, and I don't want to see all this underside weirdness. So I had to add a single 2x4 brick underneath here in order for it to rest on the table with the wings down. So that is my favorite usage because it enabled me to display this ship without having to lose my sanity.
That is
Ooh.
incredibly important.
Yes.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
How about you, Ethan?
I like it as filler brick. It's really great filler brick. Let me grab. I'm working on a mock right now. And there's an elevation change. And I want it all to
chair, by the
be
way.
black. So I'm just using a bunch of 2x4.
Ah.
That's all 2x4 brick.
Mm.
Just classic stacking. And it's
I
nice
love
and
'em.
cheap. And it's easy to get a lot of.
That's right.
True.
Yep. So that's probably one of my favorite uses for it. And there's even more in there.
And that's an excellent use of that part.
Yes.
Definitely.
Basic,
Ethan,
but
what I use for filler brick on the inside of stuff where you don't see it? Duplo.
Yes,
Oh,
Duplo's also
it's-
really good.
it's allowed.
2x4
It's allowed.
Duplo brick.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, if you guys didn't know that already, I'm sure most people know this, but the Duplo brick is compatible with the Lego brick. They're made to be that way. So a single Duplo brick, yeah, exactly. Duplo meaning double the size.
That's what it means.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that was the idea.
There used to be Quattro,
which was yeah, or what are they, 6 or 8? They're 8 2x4 Lego bricks equal 1 Duplo 2x4 brick. So and yeah, there used to be also Quattro, which was made 4 times the size as you.
Well, that'd be incredible filler.
Yeah.
Except it's super expensive.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it's hard to find now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. So I guess that concludes this week's Element of the Week.
Yes.
Woohoo! That's fun.
Yeah. Does I guess we should ask the chat. Does anybody in the chat have their fun use for it, or why they like it? And there's a couple already.
Yes.
Yeah. The CJ says that he it's unironically or ironically his favorite brick. He uses it to swatches for color matching 3D prints. Oh, I see. So he prints the bricks to color match to make sure the colors are right with 3D printing.
I see.
And then T-Rex said they like it because they have a white one with their name printed on it.
Oh, that's pretty
cool.
neat.
Yeah.
It's funny. When I was at Brick Fair, one of the things that a lot of people did was they used white 2x4 bricks to like sign and then just like share people's little signatures. I think Luca.
That's cool.
Luca got a whole bunch of ours, so I thought that was a really good idea.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right. So, well, if you guys do think of other things, you can drop them in the comments, and we could always come back to it later.
Yeah. Also, if you're in the chat, like the video, the stream, that helps push it out.
Yep. Let's push it. Sorry.
Push it real good. Dating ourselves here. All right.
Yeah, sorry.
Would you like to move on with the next segment, Thomas?
I really would. Yeah.
I could. Yeah.
All right. So, guys, right now we're going to share kind of our final segment today, and we're going to be talking about the 90 years of play that Lego is currently celebrating. So, if you have been, looking at any Lego displays of any kind anywhere, you would have to completely be missing them to not see all the 90 years of play stuff that has been out there. So Walmart has, an exclusive 90 years of play that has a little castle. They also have some classic sets that have been released that include a lot of homage to Lego throughout the years, which is really cool. Classic meaning the basic building brick sets that come with very limited, types of well, not limited pieces, but it's really more specialized to create certain styles, and then you kind of just use your imagination from there. But they've recreated like the rocket ship and the pirate ship and things like that. So there's a lot of that kind of thing out there. But yeah, I mean, really, Lego as a company, it is kind of hard to believe, but yeah, they've been around for 90 years now. And of course, as you may or may not know, they didn't start off right off the bat by making, the plastic bricks that we know and love today. 1932 was when they were founded as a company. And they started off like a lot of other toy companies at the time, making stuff out of wood. And during this time, there were wars going on and shortages on types of materials. But long story short, they made stuff like cars and piggy banks and duck on a string, which oddly enough became a real Lego set later on. Actually, it was just in 2020, I believe. And that sucker goes for like $125 new a box now on the secondary market. So
I want that set so much.
Crazy. It looks really cool. And I tried to part it out on Bricklink, and it's just like just as expensive to do it that way.
Or you can be lucky enough to go to Billund and buy it at the only place they sell it, at the Lego house.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yep. So, they made a lot of variety of different stuff. They even made like model railroad scale cars and accessories, which is really interesting. But it eventually came around that they made, and it just like Matt mentioned, in 1949, the interlocking, automatic binding bricks, they were called at that time. And so there was Kitty Craft bricks were a precursor to that, but their style was slightly different than what Lego ended up eventually going with, including the tube structure on the bottom was a huge differentiator for Lego, which allowed them not only to be able to be stacked in different combinations, but also to have much more durability. So when you stack them on top of each other, you can go much higher with structural stability than you could with the ones that were completely hollow on the inside. Now, there were still some pieces that were made hollow on the inside, even just a few years ago. We'll talk about like a 1x4 brick that's transparent. It has no tubes because you wanted it to be still transparent. But anyway, that's kind of where the history came from. And where we are today comes from a whole amalgamation of this stuff that Lego has gone through in its past. And they really struggled for a while there. And, those of our younger fans may not have been aware, but there was a time when Lego was at the point where they may not have continued to be a company. They had, in a lot of ways, overextended themselves. And so they had opened all the Legoland parks. And they had done a lot of different elements in a lot of different categories that was becoming extremely expensive for them to produce, because when you have such a huge variety of elements, then you have to have a place to put all of them individually for storing them, for producing them, for distributing them. It's a lot of stuff to maintain. So they experimented with different themes, some of them perhaps not as well conceived, like perhaps Galador and things like that. Oh, Lord Almighty. So, they did a lot of different stuff, and they had the old standbys like Castle, or Pirates, and of course a long-standing tradition of space and doing different things along that theme. No, and when we were talking about the Chrome stuff earlier, some of my absolute favorite stuff is both the Chrome helmets and Chrome swords. Very, very cool. But it really wasn't until the very late 90s before they had some changes both internally in their structure. They decided to change to having Legoland be managed by a different company, and they actually sold it off. It's licensed Lego, but it's managed by a different company now. It's not, which is why you can't use VIP points at the Legoland stores. And then also they went into their first foray into licensed products such as Star Wars. 90 years. Oh, I missed that comment. What did that one say?
Oh, yes.
People still complain and nitpick about the tiniest things. Oh, my heavens. Yeah.
Some things never change.
Well, and you know what? To that point, I've got to say, so as somebody who grew up with Lego in the 90s and the early 2000s and was just amazed at what you could do then, I got out of Lego and came back to it just a couple years ago, and my mind has been blown by the incredible developments that Lego has made in techniques and the style of building. There's so much more detail that is possible now that simply was not possible when I was growing up. And yet we see these beautiful new sets and people are like, but they could have done better. I'm like, you do it then. Good grief.
and a lot of people don't talk about this either. If you go and do the research, Lego is way better value now than it was back in the day. If you look at the prices of the sets and the piece counts, and you compare them to today,
crazy.
Even though a vast majority of sets are just more expensive, it's not like the value is going down. The value is constantly going up.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, and when I compared like the 2002 Jedi Starfighter with the 2022 Jedi Starfighter,
I was thinking about
it's
that video.
only like $10 more in price, and that doesn't even account for inflation. Come on,
right?
It's literally double the number of pieces, 3 times the number of minifigures, and a lot. Unbelievably more sturdy. So won't even get into that. But yeah, I mean, so they've experimented with a lot of different themes, a lot of stuff that kind of came and went. Some old favorites of mine, like Rock Raiders, were only around for like a year and then went away, and that's just kind of all been part of their process. But getting into branded licensed runs like Star Wars, Harry Potter, and Marvel has really rocket launched Lego into a whole other level of viability and creativity and just world acceptance. So it's a really good time to be a Lego fan. I would just say that.
Yeah,
it really is.
That's what I've got to share on the 90 years of play. It is just such a wonderful time to be able to share in this community. It's becoming more vocal and more visible, and just very, very enjoyable. So
yeah, I will say, as much as everybody hated COVID and COVID was awful, it was a saving grace for Lego. It boosted them so. It basically brought Lego into the mainstream light. I remember seeing like so many talk shows that have some celebrity on, and the celebrity would have Legos in the background, and they'd always get asked about it. Like, oh yeah, I've started building Legos in my free time.
There you go.
Yeah. David Beckham.
Orlando Bloom.
Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Will Arnett. Yeah. Obviously. It's really amazing the way that it's grown as just the thing that everybody knows about and is just so much more accepted. I tell people I'm a Lego content creator and I build Lego, and they don't look at me like I have 6 heads and run the other way. They respond like, wow, that's cool, and ask me questions about it. It's nice.
I will say that the only real negative that I see out of the increased popularity in Lego lately is that it has become significantly harder to find quality used Lego at a good competitive price, because people are very much more aware of the value of the product now, and they see it. Many of them are now seeing it as much more of a collectible and something that does have in both intrinsic and real tangible value, which I believe even just 2 years ago, it was still being viewed much more in the light of, this is a child's toy. Here's an entire grocery sack for $5. Please take it. You really don't find that so much anymore. It's a lot harder to come by those good deals.
And I'll say,
the value.
Maybe this is a little bit of a controversial opinion, but I will say, as COVID, I'd say, just brought Lego into the limelight, and a lot of people just were like, yep, I'm going to become a Lego reseller. And I think the just mass amount of resellers that have come into the space have also negatively affected the prices of a lot of things. I think a lot of things Lego definitely is worth a lot and is very valuable, but I think we're getting to a point where we're resellers and things are we're beginning to push things beyond their actual value. And the only people benefiting are the resellers. And it's just negatively affecting everybody in the community.
Yeah, it really, one thing that frustrates me is the scalpers. There are the people who will just buy 20 of the sets to sell when there is a scarcity. Like, it irritates me, because this, like, okay, I know you want to make some money on it, but it's like you're taking away from anybody else being able to enjoy that, and especially when it's a set that's hard to come by. Like, I literally have never seen the Republic Fighter tank in store ever since it has been released. Not once. And it has always been sold out.
I've seen it. You want me to get you some? Like, I saw it the other day and I didn't buy it because I was like, do I need this? No.
Definitely. Because I'd say I completely lost my thought. Never mind.
That's
all right. It'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, I had an email alert set up on Lego.com, which, if you guys don't know out there, you can, if there's a temporarily out of stock item, you can put in your information and have them send you a notification when it comes back in stock. It's very good to do that. So I got the email that the Republic Fighter tank was back in stock, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna think about it, do some other stuff. And I got that email that morning. I checked the website, I put it in my cart, and I did some other things. And it was like 2 hours later, I was like, okay, I'm ready to do this. And it was out of stock.
Well, they should set up like an auto order system. Like,
that would be crazy.
Yeah. You have my information.
Your Starbucks card,
Yeah.
Go ahead. As soon as it's available, just bill me.
Just send me. That's fine. Yeah. Just send it out.
Well, and I remember I was going to say, a lot of these scarcities too are oftentimes, and especially at the peak of COVID, when Lego was having supply chain problems, like everybody else in the world was, these scarcities were oftentimes generated by resellers.
Oh, yes.
Only.
Yeah.
These scarcities only were a thing because resellers were mad. It's like it's like with the Xboxes and the PlayStation, that whole thing, that when that happened, it's like they're sold out, but nobody actually has them because a bunch of resellers and bots bought them all. And that's how it is sometimes with Lego sets. It's like nobody actually has the Lego set. Just some reseller has them all and is holding on to them and basically generated an artificial scarcity for something.
Yes, which is frustrating if you do want to collect it for yourself and you don't want to pay double the retail price on it. So, but that's enough, negativity probably for one day. Overwhelmingly, I have a very positive view of everything happening in Lego right now. And to that point, I would love to share, as we were talking about our 90 years of play stuff with Lego, a couple of things that they have done is not only creating those classic sets that pay tribute, in kind of a loose sense, to some older sets, but they've also released some sets that directly recreates older sets, which is absolutely amazing. Well, and there's recreating older sets or kind of one-upping on older sets too, or older themes, as we'll get into. So the Forest Hideout was a remake of the Forestman Hideout from the Castle theme in Days of Yore. This is it is beautifully recreated from the original set, both in the style and in the functionality with the hinge piece here to open up this hideouts. And this is bringing back a theme that we have not seen. It was really a sub theme of Castle that we have not seen in just more years than what we can count at this point. But what I love that they did, while I have a couple of technical critiques to it, the taper of the branch up here, I believe, could have been a little bit more gradual. However, what I do appreciate is the use of the newer pieces here to create a more rounded look to the tree, and the newer pieces here for this this sloped roof piece here. Originally, they used those the hinge that had like the four fingers to it, and I actually really like that piece. I missed that type of piece. But this is really good, and it looks extremely clean. And I like that with these plates here, or these tiles, we get more like the look of slats of wood on the top. So I think it's just dynamite. And plus you get the little target to go with it. This was a gift with purchase, and they have done it twice now as GWP.
Yes,
June and August.
And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it came back. We're still in the 90th. We're still in the 90th anniversary. So
I would too. Yeah, and they also got the first female forest person. So
which is very cool.
Very cool. Yeah.
Well, the second actually.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I was thinking the maiden. Yeah.
Yes, the original maiden. Yep.
So, let's see. So we have the Forest Hideouts. I believe that takes us to the even bigger one-up that I think a lot of people really anticipating, the resumption of a certain theme that shall now be presented by our esteemed Brick Chef.
Yes. The big Lion Knights castle. This thing is absolutely massive. $400 massive castle. And this isn't even how truly large it is. The whole thing can be completely open.
Just incredible.
Yeah, which makes it even larger. It already is massive in footprint, but now it's just double in size. And just like anything you'd expect that folds open. And I'm going to attempt to do this without destroying anything. The whole thing can be flipped around to see a massive interior space.
What a lot of detail.
Tons of references to the castle theme as a whole, all over. Like you can see the little wizard. There are shields all over this castle with different factions. Mm-hmm. You can even see here the original yellow castle that I think...
I love that.
Even if you're a new fan, you know what that is.
It's iconic.
Exactly. It's iconic. But yeah, no, this thing is absolutely just jam-packed with tons of details. I especially love the way this roof looks. It makes it look like it's like thatched, made of straw. Yeah. It looks amazing. I'll also highlight one of my favorite parts is this little balcony right here. When folded open, turns into no longer is it a balcony, but it is a bridge.
Yeah, it's like a parapet. Yep. That's so cool.
That's some brilliant design right there.
But no, this castle I think is definitely like a must. It was a must-have for a lot of castle fans.
Yes.
When it was revealed and announced,
you must have it.
Yes.
Well, you know what I can really appreciate out of that? Not only the incredibly advanced building techniques out of it, but also the interior detail, which you did not ever see in original castle sets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if anybody's ever built those original castle sets, it's like awesome exterior, green base plate, and that's it. You know, like,
yep. On the inside.
On the inside, nothing. Yeah.
They just slept on the floor, I guess. Like
on the grass. Yeah.
They ate nothing.
Yeah.
If they were lucky, they had a goblet of imaginary wine. Like
yes, a yellow goblet. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's
I also love that they brought in that barding for the horses. The
so
technical
nice.
term for that little thing that goes on the outside of the horse. Very cool. Yeah, I love it.
But the details, awesome.
Yes. It's a very, very cool set.
It's just
fun
pays
fact,
so much respect.
did you guys know that they had switched the direction of the waving flags?
No, I did not.
Yeah, the new ones wave one way and the old ones wave the other direction. So you can tell if you have a new one or an old one just by the direction that it waves.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know what year they switched it, but
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, they did eventually switch that over. But all right, so we have one more 90th set to talk about.
Yes.
So that leaves me. I have this on me, the Galaxy Explorer. Now, this is a direct remake of the original Lego Galaxy Explorer set. It's the first big spaceship Lego made. It is super iconic. Any classic space fans know what this is. They actually recreated like what was originally printed, LL928 for like one of the set numbers. Either the European or the American version of the set number was 928. They have this really nicely printed, a little bit of glare there, but the classic space logo. Love this. It actually has, you're not going to be able to see it with my webcam, but it has like the craters on the moon. Like it's super.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yep. This is solid. You spend quite a bit of this build doing like the internal structure, because this is like about a brick thick. Just with all the Technic, making sure this connects together. It has these feet that can kind of go in the little landing pads.
Yes. Cool.
Yes. And it uses that like Super Mario plate to
the flat one.
Yeah. That was smart.
So you can, this is in flight mode. In the back, this opens up. So actually, before I get back there, I do want to show. I know something fell off. I knocked it off.
Always happens.
In the original ship, this arrow was printed on a 1x2 brick. They actually use a technique with that Nexonite shield tile to create the arrow.
I love that. I love that assembly. You just slide the tile right in there.
Oh, it's so smooth.
Wow.
Like,
that's satisfying.
It's one of the nicest things that I think I've ever witnessed in a Lego set. I'm being serious. That's probably like
it's so satisfying, really cool. That assembly.
One of my top 5 favorite techniques ever used. So this opens up just like the original set did, and there's a little rover. I'm not gonna. Well, let's release it. Here's the rover. Pretty basic, but it recreates what the old space rovers looked like. You can slide it out so that there's like a landing pad. But it's not working so well because I'm holding it.
Oh yeah, I understand.
And then I really like this. Look at this little door that you can slide to get inside, like the airlock. And then hold on, I'll show you. This is my favorite part of the whole thing. Well, inside we have all of these recreated prints of the classic space computers. I don't know if you can see them, but like, look, we have the little beds up here. These spacemen are having a little slumber party. So they have like little beds that they can sleep in and go on adventures. And they also can bring their little robot, which has coffee cups. So that's important. Yeah, you need to have coffee when you're in space.
Yes.
Space adventures. But I absolutely love this set. It was a joy to build. It's a joy to look at and display and play with. it makes me really happy.
Yes.
Yeah, man, that is such a beauty. Honestly, the colors are evocative of that era, and
Exactly.
I want to say that I appreciate that they've gone from, like the original obviously was like a single plate thick, and that's what they did on a lot of that old stuff. The old space sets were often just a one plate thickness, and just watching you kind of detail all of the work that went into them creating a very structurally sound ship, I really appreciate that.
Yes.
Yeah. So you just reminded me of one really cool detail that I love about this. The bricks, every brick in this set, including all of the internal ones that you don't see, they only use the colors that were available at the time, with the exception of the new version of like the light bluish gray.
Yeah, new gray. Yeah.
But you have the trans yellow, blue, the gray, yellow, black, red, white, and I think that's it. Gray, black, red, white, blue. Yeah. That's all. That's awesome. That they used for this set, and they use those exact colors. Oh, and the trans green, trans red. Yeah, sorry, bumped everything.
That's right.
But yeah, so it's just great.
Well, and it really shows that you don't need that many extra colors to make a striking and really beautiful set like that.
Yeah,
simplicity.
Yeah,
sometimes
nice
simple is
2-3 color scheme. All you need.
Yep. Now, are there any 2x4 bricks in it?
Yeah, there are. They're without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. I don't know where, but they are.
Yep.
In fact, I think this old gray brick should be hanging out inside.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We're gonna put Mr. Old Gray Bricks inside the spaceship because that's where he,
that's they would agree with that.
He would agree.
Yeah.
Dom.
Yeah.
Dom. And then, do we want to show off our favorite sets?
Yeah.
I forgot that segment was on there, but I brought mine with me over here. I was just going to say favorite theme. It's really hard because you kind of go back and forth between stuff, and you really, when you're somebody who's collected for a long time, it's an appreciation of almost everything, really.
Yeah.
But my favorite theme is Spirius, the sub-theme of space from the 90s. And this Spirius robot had the printed slopes on the interior inside this robot head. The Spirians were known for stealing the technology of other space factions at the time, especially Ice Planet 2002. And we've got the Spirius robot guy here, and we've got a thing that opens up here in the front. And one of my favorite things from that time frame was the magnetic pieces, and this holds some technology inside there that they have stolen. So Robo Guardian, yes, thank you. Could not think of the name because stuff just doesn't go correctly at the time. But they have the system back here for the arms to be lowered and raised with this little thing.
Oh, that's here. A really good gear locking.
Yeah, there's a gear inside there that so it ticks up as you go. And then you just push it to release it back down. It's really cool. And you can see it's a Technic, like one of these Technic things here on either side, inside there that moves. So that keeps it in place. But the other thing that I always loved with all the old 90s space sets is they always came with some kind of rover. Like you mentioned, and this little guy came with the Robo Guardian. So there's always something like this. I've got like 20 different space factions, little rovers like that.
Yeah.
Picked up the Robot Scout from that theme. Nice, Dom. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's
so I've got a whole bunch of space over here, plus the hard to find purple spaceman.
Ooh.
Hard to find because he doesn't actually exist, except for you take the torso from the CMF from last year and put him with the only purple helmet that was ever made on Danju from the Knights Kingdom 2 theme, and then you get a purple spaceman. They don't have a purple rocket or a scuba pack yet, but when they do, then I'll have purple spaceman. So anyway, that's mine.
Coming to your house to steal that helmet.
I know.
Yeah, that's an expensive helmet.
Like $15 by itself.
Yeah,
probably cheaper than buying the helmet.
Yeah. I know. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. So, all right, I'm going to share something old and something new because my favorite set literally changes weekly. I have 100 favorite sets. So just reaching by what I had close at hand.
And something borrowed and something blue too, right?
I actually do have something blue if you want to see that. This is a UCS Slave one. I think it goes without saying that this is by far one of the best Star Wars sets that's ever been made. It's my favorite Star Wars set, my favorite UCS set. I mean, I don't want to get into it. Anybody who knows this set knows it's a monster. But it's just one of the most detailed sets I think that they've made from Star Wars, from such an iconic ship. Mine is very dusty. I probably need to take this apart and wash it. But
you got to be careful.
Oh, Matt, I know.
Matt, that dark red.
Is it as good as this one though?
It's comparable. It's it's a lot better. Yeah. This one eats that shit for breakfast.
Oh yeah, twice over.
So that's my something old. This is my something blue. I haven't borrowed anything for you guys yet, so I don't have anything like that. But I did want to showcase, because I have this set complete in box. This is the Legoland Space Cruiser from, I think, 1979.
Wow,
set 487. It's one of the original space sets, and I'm very lucky that I have the box. But here it is. So you can see, I'm going to compare, see if I can get these both.
I've got to see this. Oh my gosh.
The side-by-side comparison.
It's crazy.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh my gosh.
So you can really see it. This is an original set from 1979. And then this is the new Galaxy Explorer.
Wow.
It's great.
Honestly, you can barely tell the difference in the grays from here.
Yeah.
Sure, it's more evident there, but
over the webcam,
really
it's not.
But this set, compared to this one, it's super simple. You just open it up. Yeah. They don't have beds, so they can't really take space naps. I know. And there's a tile. You have to actually just remove the tile. That's Dom's favorite set too. The slave one, the UCS slave one. I'm not surprised. I wonder, Dom, do you have that set? You can throw it in there. But yeah, this is a very cool. I think I can't remember. I lose track of his collection all the time.
He's got a good one.
Yeah, but this just it's so simple, and it's in really good condition too.
Oh, he's got a good point. You see that?
Some of those dark red costs.
No. Yeah.
So I probably am better off not taking this apart. But the thing is, I don't think that the big ones would break, right?
And
I've seen them. I've
seen them break. I've seen
them break in assembly and disassembly.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very scary. Like the big ones.
Extremely careful if you
do. The big pieces will just.
They'll snap, really?
Yeah.
They can crack.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so then we just have to clean it very carefully and dust it, and then bury me with this.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Pretty much.
They're just gonna bury me with this. They're just going to the grave.
One of the things that I have actually heard about that in terms of the stability on pieces plays into humidity. So a lot of people have been noticing that their pieces are more brittle if they live in a climate that is less humid. Because the humidity will actually add to them being as brittle. So bear that in mind. There are steps that you can take to control the humidity in your collection room. I mean, you think about the fact that cigar aficionados would have what is called a humidor to keep their, or musicians. I have a humidifier inside my guitar case for my Taylor acoustic guitar. It's important because when you're talking about something that can change shape or flex at all depending on that humidity level, you need to be aware of that, and that can contribute to the brittle factor on Lego pieces. So that's something I wanted to throw out there.
So I need to start smoking cigars if I want to keep my Lego collection safe. All right.
Smoking something. No.
I already have one vice with this all this plastic nonsense. Yeah. So
yeah, and then
what about you, Ethan? Do you have
I only have one set, and it was very hard to pick.
Don't take that apart either.
Yeah, well, I put it together very recently, and I was very lucky that it did not, and none of the pieces broke in assembly. But yeah, no, this is from a very similar time. I think 1 or 2 years after or before the Slave One, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2015 or 2014?
Yeah, those are. I consider them some of the best run of UCS Star Wars sets. I don't know. It's not the most popular vehicle in Star Wars, but the Lego set, I don't know. Something about it is just, I love it so much. The treads on the bottom. I don't know. I always wanted this set. When I was given the opportunity to have it, I was like, yes, I will take a UCS Sandcrawler. This thing is just so cool. Plus all the minifigs. The only set that ever came with Uncle Owen. I don't have him. I left him with in the kitchen with Aunt Beru.
Yeah. Whoever would have thought that minifigure would spike in value?
I know. I know.
Well, if you look at the top of that set, I mean, the top fronts, I feel like it's taken for granted that it is challenging to create those angles. And look at how they stagger those plates on top of one another to create both it sloping inward and, narrowing at the same time. That is so challenging. If anybody's tried to make a mock of something and they need to accomplish a strange angle like that, it's really well done.
The way that those are connected is just like
the ball.
That's a good interior. Yeah. I know.
They're here and back here. There is how this piece is connected.
I feel like that's a lot like some other sets where they've done strange angles, like the
ET.
Well, I was thinking the this guy, the turbo tank, has some strange angles there. This is obviously, we're not talking UCS level here, obviously, but they used if I can pull one of these aside here, Technic pieces to join these panels in here, and so they just snap like that, and you kind of have to leave them alone because they're gonna wobble around a lot. Same deal on the back with this shape here. It's created by those angled pieces there. So very interesting how they can accomplish these more interesting shapes than you see it and you're like, well, it's just a boxy thing, like that can't be hard to make. But then you got to think about what the designers actually had to come up with to make that happen and make it look good. It's hard. Impressive.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, I think that pretty well wraps up our show. Unless there are any questions from our viewers today, does anybody have anything that they would like to impart upon us? Words of wisdom, positive or negative feedback? Anything that you want to say?
Questions, things you wanted to share to us,
concerns.
We always would love the feedback. I mean, be sure that you're following us individually at all of our social channels, and also building a podcast on our social channels. If you do want to send some questions there, that would also help a lot.
Flintstones.
Here, let me see if I can. I'm not going to grab the set, but
he's got
just the roof. I have the roof,
dude.
I'm amazed by how you just have all these things at hand.
It's just here.
I can't grab this whole set, but that's the roof. That is a very nice roof.
It is great.
Natalie asked us how we all met.
It's a good question.
That's TikTok, actually.
TikTok.
So, like Thomas had indicated earlier, that he and I met because he started noticing my videos, and he, I guess, left some comments and made some video. Actually, I saw one of Thomas's videos about one of the very first castle sets that I owned as a kid, King Leo's castle. And I was like, wait, this guy really likes this set that was really important to me when I was young. And I was like, let's just, and then we became friends just, because we started chatting that way.
That's one of those that I don't know, you either love it or hate it. And obviously we're going for juniorism with the pieces there. I understand. But, for me, it was important because it was from my childhood. I actually have it right here.
Please take that down, because I'm always happy when I see this set. This makes me so happy. I still need to get myself a copy of it.
Okay. Only change I've made to it is adding the classic green dragon on the front there. But this is King Leo's castle. And there are actually a lot of play features with this. You have things that turn around. You have a treasure chest that flies off when you hit it from the front here. So cool. And, you got treasure that is guarded by axes that will fall down in the back. For a kid, this was an amazing set. And one of my favorite pieces from this set is this stained glass window at the very top there. that is in a rotating panel, and they don't make this piece anymore, the rotating thing, but it'll actually push and flip around. They actually used that in a lot of sets around that time. They had like a fireplace that would rotate, and there's a skeleton on the other side from the Night Lord's castle. But that's a beauty.
So that's how Thomas and I met. I keep pointing in the wrong direction because I'm backwards. Which way do I go? That way. That's Thomas. That's how Thomas and I met. Then I met Ethan because Thomas said, "Hey Matt, want to start a podcast with me?" And and I was like, "Cool, sounds fun." I have no idea who he is. And then we met, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, he's cool. I can see why." Right. But how did you guys meet?
It was probably back when I like first started. I don't know how. I don't remember exactly how me and you, but we either communicated in comments or something. And then one time we went live together, just like very early on. And ever since then, I just always made sure I kept an eye. And then I had the idea to do a podcast, and the first person I approached was Thomas Canobricks, and that kind of just went from there. Albeit I've never been like very active in the community, so it's not like I was like close friends with you. I don't know. I just needed to get myself out there, so I was like, we'll start it with. He's the only person I've actually interacted with. So,
well, and I remember actually,
they're four friends.
When you first joined, Ethan, when you first joined TikTok, both of us were both under 10,000 followers at that point, and you were talking about like we should do some kind of collaboration and maybe we should do something that would get us over that line. Well, like 2 days later, you were at like 50,000 followers, which I hit like I haven't even hit yet. I'm 49 point something. I'm just gonna, what?
You've known Ethan that long, and you didn't introduce me until now. It's been a while.
I know. I suck.
Okay. You suck. How did I not notice that? Oh man, I could have been following. We could have been friends for so much longer. Oh well.
Well, and I mean, I've always been such a fan of your style of reviewing. It's clean, it's concise, it is just objective. It's not like I like this and I hate that. It's just like telling you how it is, and I love that about it. But I mean, we followed each other at that point and have always kind of, I feel like, have kind of built each other up in that respect and encouraged each other. When it comes to how I met Matt, it was, I was like searching through TikTok. I didn't ever search the word Lego. It just came up because it was like it knew. But you came up on my feed, and you were under 10,000 at that time too. I specifically remember that video where it was waking up to 10,000 followers. You like got out of bed and did
that
the
was 10,000 a fun video.
Yeah,
like Mr. Blue Sky, I think was the.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's a good one. So I mean, it's crazy how far we've come. I mean, it's not about numbers, obviously, but it's. I feel that the camaraderie that we have, not only in the community, but with each other, even just in the last couple of months that we all have been collectively talking, just having that sense of community is really important, and I would not take that for granted for anything. Appreciate you guys.
Yes.
I do see a comment from Marcos here. Aqua Raiders, or really any of the Aqua Zone. I think, you and I, Thomas, have talked about how much we love Aqua Zone.
Yes. Yeah, we do. Yep. I actually have this rare base plate that I don't know what viewers will have seen. You're
flexing on me every time you show that thing. I love that.
This came with the Crystal Crawler, and it's a Lego base plate. It doesn't have any studs. It was meant for Aqua Zone, and so the Crystal Crawler was the it's the good guys, the Aquanauts, and I loved that these pieces went up and down, and you could have the propellers go whatever way you wanted, and then they had these awesome little grabbing things, these arms here that have all these little finger pieces. Yeah,
is this part of that theme?
It is. Yeah, that's this set. That's this one right here.
I just
Scout Shark or something like that.
Yeah, I bought this at a Lego convention because it was cheap, and I was like, nice. That looks cool.
That's pretty cool. You got it complete in box?
Yeah, it's completely sealed. There's like $10.
Oh, it's sealed?
Yeah.
For $10?
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude. I love that.
Yeah, I have my box pretty much in perfect condition too. This box is like...
Wow. I think Matt's got the.
I point out, everybody
shark one
gets
that I
mad
have.
about box tabs. I don't know if you can see it. This set has a box tab on it.
Yep. Yeah.
It's always a thing. So don't think it's just some new thing.
I have this guy sealed,
nice.
but even this I think was like $20.
Dang.
Oh wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
which was like $3.99 back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inflation, am I
Yeah.
right?
Here's my. Here's
Ironic-
the box for this guy.
Dang.
Yeah.
Ironically, this box has water damage.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I don't mind
Water
because
damage.
I don't mind because it's AquaZone.
It's AquaZone, so it has to have water. Oh, and here's I'm not even making this up. The Crystal Crawler came with a free playscape.
You have the box.
Hilarious. Yeah, I sure do.
Very cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
goodness.
good stuff, guys. Really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Love that nostalgia.
Yeah. Well, I think that just about wraps
I
everything
think we
up
can
here.
wrap it up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, again, everybody, thank you so much for joining
Yes.
us today. This has been an amazing first episode, and I hope that you all will join us going forward. We will be coming to you live every Wednesday in perpetuity, so count on it.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
Time may vary, but Wednesday.
Yes. And we will
Yep.
always communicate that via our primary socials for
Yep.
building a podcast, as well as our individual socials. So you can always look forward to those notifications to see when we're going to be, like what specific time. We'll iron out the exact time if it'll be, the
Yes.
same recurring. But yes, Wednesday you can count on that. So thank you
Yep.
again, everybody. We appreciate
Thanks,
you.
everybody. Have a
and
great
have
night.
Yes, you
wonderful
guys.
day.
Yeah. See ya.
Thanks.